Welcome back everyone. As an NBA fan, but also a Laker fan, I've really been conflicted. No matter who you are, you cannot deny that we are getting some great basketball right now. On the other hand though, it's been very frustrating watching the Lakers be their own worst enemy at times. They've showed us plenty of good things, but they cannot seem to overcome a few of the bad ones. They were truly right on the cusp of winning both Game 1 and Game 2 as well, and if they only did a few minor things a bit better, we would be looking at this series completely different right now. I mean, it took a lot for Denver to win both road games, and while I'm not diminishing what they've done here, the Lakers could have easily taken one of, if not both games on the road so far. And let's be very clear about that, both games have been on the road for them so far, and in reality, Denver should have been expected to defend their own home court. They are the number 1 seed after all, and I think we can all agree they're a tough and incredibly well put together team. With that in mind though, now it's time for the Lakers to defend their home court. And they've done pretty well at that too. In fact, they have yet to get beat on their home court during the playoffs, having gone a perfect 6-0 up until this point. And they will now need to win there more than ever. One win alone won't cut it, not against a team like this Denver Nuggets group. And while I might be a bit biased here, I 100% believe they can do it, though they will have to make a few adjustments in order to get there, and we're going to talk about them in today's video. Before we do that though, I would genuinely appreciate it if you could take a brief moment to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. Without further ado though, let's dive right into it, and we'll begin by once again talking about their starting lineup, which they again changed during Game 2. Rather than sticking with Dennis Schroeder in there, they reverted back to their old lineup, with that lineup including Jarred Vanderbilt. And while I definitely preferred this lineup over their Game 1 lineup, I thought it could have been a bit better. If you watched my videos lately, then you'll know who I would have preferred to be out there, with that player being Rui Hachimura. And I'm not saying that Vanderbilt played poorly or did not provide any value on the court either. He provided them with great defense per usual and then helped improve their energy to begin the game too. From that alone, I give him credit. They look completely different in the first quarter of Game 2 compared to Game 1, but I think they can do it without Vanderbilt being in there. I mean, they achieved their goal of letting Anthony Davis become a free roamer on defense, but they unfortunately did it at the cost of putting a heavy burden on LeBron James. He really did defend Nikola Jokic pretty well. He deflected a number of his pass attempts and was primarily able to hold his ground down low, but again, they could've and really should've let that duty fall to Rui Hachimura. I don't know, maybe they're trying to disguise their game plan after Game 1, but I for one would have much rather preferred to see Hachimura doing that compared to LeBron. And in my opinion, that is what they should do for Game 3. They should begin the game with Hachimura in their starting lineup, and then of course finish the game with him out there too. Doing that will provide them with more 3-point shooting compared to having Vanderbilt out there, more size compared to having Schroeder, and then ease the burden off LeBron defensively, which we cannot afford to overlook here. I would argue that led to LeBron becoming tired on offense. Now, the late fourth quarter ankle turn did not help out either, but I cannot imagine that defending a 280-pound man did not contribute to that too. However, we cannot defend the untimely 3-point shots that LeBron attempted. They were absolute momentum killers for them, and looking back on them, they played a big part in Denver making their comeback. At this point, I'm not sure why LeBron keeps taking contested or pull-up 3-point shots early in the shot clock. I mean, I get that he is trying to find his rhythm, but they are killing the team right now. He has yet to make a 3-point shot during the conference finals, and even worse, LeBron has only made one 3-point shot in the entire fourth quarter throughout the playoffs. Again, all of that is absolutely killing them. I'm not saying they should quit shooting entirely, but he really needs to quit taking the difficult ones. Only take the 3-point shots that are being given to him. That should really be a simple adjustment for him moving forward, and I am confident that both LeBron and Anthony Davis will bounce back in Game 3. Although, I will never be too hard on Anthony Davis when he's dominating on defense. I would definitely like to see him shoot better than 4-15 from the field, but we cannot act like he did not hold their defense together at times. Again, they absolutely do need more shot making from him moving forward, but I really like how aggressive he was in Game 2, and I would argue he should have been at the free throw line even more than he already was. I really have nothing to complain about in regard to Anthony Davis defensively though, and I was pretty content with their defense during the first half in general. But then came the third quarter, and here's where everything began to fall apart for them. For one, they began to ease up on Jamal Murray. They applied great defensive pressure on him throughout the first and second quarters, and specifically when it came to fighting over screenplays, though that unfortunately came to an end during the third quarter. For whatever reason, the primary defender on him began going under screens to get back to him, and for a guy like Jamal Murray, that's really all it takes. Jared Vanderbilt got caught a couple times, and then Schroeder continued to go under screens when Vanderbilt went to the bench, and from that point, Jamal Murray began to light them up. I mean, I know it's not particularly easy to fight over a screen set by Nikola Jokic, but they have got to do a better job of doing it. In my opinion, it might have been the #1 reason for them getting beat in Game 2. It really doesn't matter how a guy played in the first half, you need to defend them like it's a completely new game coming out of halftime, and that is another thing the Lakers need to do better. Finally though, there is a lot of talk being made about D'Angelo Russell. Many fans are calling for him to be moved to the bench, and while it's definitely becoming more and more likely to happen, I'm not sure I agree with it. Now I might agree with it if they continue to incorrectly utilize him, but that should be the real adjustment here. They once again put him into a primarily off the ball role in Game 2. It might not have been as bad compared to Game 1, but I'm not sure why they have suddenly taken the ball away from him. D'Angelo Russell is the definition of a rhythm player, and without giving him the ball very often, you cannot hope for him to heat up. And if for whatever reason they continue to play him like that, then yes, they absolutely should bring him off the bench. But in my opinion, the real adjustment here is doing a better job of utilizing him. I know he is not a great defender, but his value on offense, if used correctly, can greatly outweigh that. And it's not like he is an outright liability on defense either. I wish he were a bit better, but they are quite obviously capable of winning with him out there. Now I do agree with picking Schroeder over him for their closing lineup, but I would not outright remove D'Lo from their starting lineup. You might feel differently, but it's really all about how they utilize him. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? What adjustments do you believe the Lakers should make for Game 3? Comment your thoughts down below. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.